Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans! Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am Joe Panther III, my guy. Today, Ringside crew, you are in for a treat. I have someone that is absolutely blazing the trail for herself on the independent wrestling scene. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the Rose. Welcome to Dudes at Ringside. Welcome.
The pleasure is all yours.
Awesome. This is awesome. I'm so happy to have you on. I'm absolutely honored. So if my East Coast, my friends from the East Coast, if they are not familiar with you, and why would they not be? Introduce yourself.
So I am La Rosa Eterna, Ambrosia Belle. Sorry, a lot of you don't know Spanish. That means the everlasting rose, Ambrosia Belle. I have been wrestling since the 18th of March. I was trained by Lugatti, and I have been just doing my thing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So let's go into your training. Who trained you?
A wrestler by the name of Lugatti. He's originally from Cleveland, Ohio, and made his way down to the Dallas area. I want to say in the early 2010s, established VIP wrestling, and he's also the owner of DFW All Pro Wrestling, which is where I had my training. And he's just honestly one of the best people I've ever come to know. He has been like a father figure to me and has shown me ins and outs of the business. I couldn't have asked for a better person to have trained me in the business.
Awesome. That's awesome. So the first time you stepped foot in the training facility, did you find the school immediately, or did it take you a while to find the school?
So one of my assistants was the ones that saw an advertisement for pro wrestling, and he was like, "Hey, check this place out." So I got on my plane, flew to the United States, and I was just like, landed my private jet on their building, and they were like, "Oh my God, who is this girl?" They thought I was Beyonce because apparently I look just like her. But that's neither here nor there. But I went over there and introduced myself, tried out, made it through the tryout, and the rest is history, as they say in America.
Yeah. Awesome. To explain your gear, the outfit you wear, do you take a lot of inspiration from, as you said, Beyonce? Like, where do you get the ideas from your gear?
Oh God, this is gonna sound so bad, but so the red A on my gear, it's the first letter of my first name, but it's also inspiration to a literary work known as the Scarlet Letter. If you're also familiar with the movie Easy A, which is I guess I don't know if it would be considered a cult classic or not. I'm not the right person to ask, but it's a well-known film, and they took inspiration from the literary work. In fact, the literary work was mentioned in the movie, and so I was like, oh, it's gonna be a cool pop cultural reference, and also, makes me stick out a little bit in the business. As far as my gear itself, the one that I have right now, I saw a stripper that had a certain garment, and I was like, oh, I feel like that would compliment me. So I had it done that way. But there wasn't a lot of big inspiration to go into my two gears that I have now. But I will say my next gear is going to look absolutely stunning, and I
Do you
can't
have
wait.
anything drawn up, or do you have any ideas on what the next gear is going to look like yet, or is it still in
Oh,
the
it's
thought process with your people?
oh, I already sent it over and she's gonna be getting it made. It's just it's just a waiting game at this point. I told her not to rush it. I think perfection doesn't need to be rushed. In all honesty, this is gonna be something that's so beautiful and it really enhances my body and my features and there's a lot of inspiration that was put into the gear that I came up with for her to make for me. I'm like I can't wait to get this gear. It looks so good.
Awesome. When
Yeah,
it's done, and you reveal it to the world online, don't forget to tag Dudes or Ringside. I'll definitely love to help you unveil this awesome work of art of gear you'll be wearing around the ring.
gotcha.
So let's go back to your first match. You said in March. Like, who was it? And were you ready to take this big step?
I was very anxious and nervous. So I think it was a big opportunity for me. It was against a wrestler known by the name of Killa Kate. She's also known as BK Rhythm on WoW. I don't know if you're familiar
Oh
with.
yeah.
So she was my first opponent. She's very technically sound in the ring. I love and respect her hard work that she's been grinding for years and I'd love to get back in the ring with her again, especially as comfortable as I've been getting in the ring lately. I want to run it back with her again. She's a class act. I absolutely have nothing but love and respect for her.
Did did you try to take any advice from her when you were right before the match or like after the match that you would take from to add to whatever you do?
As far as what do you mean like
Like
specifically?
like to if you ever had the step of the ring with her again to like remember what she got wrong in the match to catch on to it to be able to flip it and make it your own way to take the win because if it's your first match some people I don't know everybody the first match they get the win but I know you probably did but like
As far as far as that goes, I think just to not think too much. I think that's something that I've had struggled with a lot in the ring and I still do. Who doesn't overthink anything? But I definitely don't do it as much as I did before. Um, so with that being said, where I am in my headspace now and what I'm capable of now and what I'm continuing to learn because this this business, you're always learning. You don't ever stop learning your craft. And I've been working my tail off as well. And with everything that I have learned now and continue to learn, I'd love to just be able to utilize that in our match. Like I said, she's a very technical wrestler, and so I'd like to use what I have learned in my match against her in the future. And then there's some other strategies that I'd rather not say on camera because, you know,
so what are some of the other matches that you've done since your first match?
I wrestled. I've wrestled a few people, quite a few people. I wrestled Victoria Mosh, Alejandra Quintanilla, La Leona. I'm sure you're familiar with these names as well. I've wrestled Anarchid Ash. I wrestled Hilda la Muñeca. Uh, and then just this past Sunday, I wrestled Ali Zelaya, who was also trained by my trainer. It was an intergender match in a lucha promotion, and it was a lot of fun. I definitely have a love for intergender wrestling, especially mixing it up in the ring. And every match that I've had, there's always something that I take from my opponent as far as like a learning lesson and how to navigate other opponents in the future. They all carry themselves so differently in the ring and I I just want to be at that place where I'm like I want to be completely better in the ring to the point where I don't ever have to think about anything ever again and then get back in the ring with these individuals cuz everyone that I've wrestled is just phenomenal in the ring. I've never had a bad opponent by any means. Everyone has, like I said, everyone has had something different to give to me in the ring. Another opponent, I mean, I wrestled her in a tag match, London Dior. She's great. She's the DFW All Pro Women's Champion. She's somebody I'd love to get in the ring with again in the future. Hudson Envy is another one. I'm sure you're familiar with her work. She's been in the game for quite a minute as well. She's been on Stardom and various other promotions. I'm wrestling her actually not this Friday, but next Friday in a singles match
Oh,
though.
wow.
Yeah. And she's somebody that I have, despite her actions towards me last few months, I still do have a lot of respect for her and her craft and everything that she's given to the business and continues to give to the business.
So you have quite a few matches coming up very soon.
I do.
Let's go into it. Like, how many matches do you have coming up very soon?
So I'm booked tomorrow at a promotion called Dragon Slayer Pro Wrestling. It is a melee match, which is essentially like a battle royal scramble kind of match with several other women, some of which I've wrestled before, some of which I have not. There's which I like because I like variety in the matches that I have, but this particular match is for a golden cup. Now,
Ooh.
me personally, I love gold, but I don't know. I'm not one to decorate with cups, but I will say it will look good in my cabinets. That's for sure. When I win this cup,
You're gonna win, of course.
Oh, of course I'm gonna win. Of course.
Dude, Ringside brings a lot of magic, and I don't know if it's they just want to make themselves look good, or since they came on Dudes at Ringside, they're like, it's like I do this, and they're like this. You're winning, sorry. And it's like,
yeah. And
it's
then
like, yeah.
there's all the opponents that are in my match. There's a girl by the name of Shay Carmichael, Reza Clark, Alejandra Quintanilla. She's one of the opponents. Fiona McPherson, the Dragon Slayer, Celine Hysteria.
Ooh, the Dragon Slayer. I haven't talked to her in a few years. In a year. She was on Dudes at Ringside before. So was the witch. She's been on Dudes at Ringside too.
Oh wow, okay. And there's also Evelyn Carter, the chick from the Looney Bin. And then also, I'm trying to see if I'm getting everyone. Victoria Mosh is another opponent that's in the match. I think that's everyone. Forgive me if I've missed anyone.
It's okay. You're the centerpiece of the match. It's okay. We all know.
Well, I mean, they kind of did screw me over. They put me in the match against that Looney Bin chick with the I don't know, she was wrapped in something and they had her come after me and I don't get it.
You're rich and famous. You could just get her a spot and get her haircut and get her nails done. Can't you just do that and say you don't need to do a match? You could just do that.
Why would I do that for her?
So she doesn't want to do the match. So she shouldn't show up.
I don't think there's reasoning with that person. She's very insane. She's not right up here. I don't know what the right word is, but she essentially belongs in the Looney Bin. I mean, I don't know how she got out, but I guess she got back out to be in our match again. So as long as she keeps her distance, I couldn't care less what she does with her life. But all I know is I will remain victorious in this match.
Just remember, if you win that cup, don't forget to thank my rep that it messaged you like a few days ago and said, praying to the baby Jesus that you would message us back, because your representatives they were rough to I had to break the bank to bring you here on Dudes at Ringside. So like, I don't know if you know, I had to really break the bank.
Yeah, and you had to go through several people before you got to me when it came to scheduling me onto your platform, which I'm honestly grateful for, because I think that there needs to be more people who are pleasant to look at on your platform, if I'm going to be quite honest.
Yeah, I had to go through a very long loop. My parents yelled at me that, that TikTok, you spent blah, 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 What the heck did you buy that much money? Yeah, my right. My reps are still trying to look at the receipts that I. Yes, I know she cost us a lot, but we can't pay for market. My representatives sometimes are just don't flip me off. Go back in your offices.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
oh, they're packing their bag. No, we need you. Go back in your. Jeez.
Sounds like something you gotta work on.
These days. Oof.
Sounds like something you gotta work on behind the scenes, I see.
Yeah, later. You're taking her too. Oh man, she was a cute receptionist. Oops, shouldn't have said that.
Oh, okay. Um,
When it comes to your opponents, like, how do you prep for an opponent? Sometimes, if you're not really familiar with them, do you find looking them up on social media and like getting a match they did like 2 matches before yours,
yes.
or do you like if you could go to the show and see what they do? Like, what is your prep?
Well, I don't as somebody who's always traveling and busy, I don't have the kind of time to, go see them physically. But what I like to do is I do study their matches, their most recent singles matches before I get into the ring with them, especially if I haven't gone in the ring with them. I observe their social media. Well, my assistant does, and then he tells me everything about these particular opponents that I have and what how they carry themselves. And so he shows me a little bits of their stuff. I do watch their matches because that's all I have time for. I don't have time to be, you know, looking through all of their social media and seeing what they do with their lives and stuff. But I do think that knowing your opponent, not just in the ring, but out of the ring, is very important because not only do you want to physically annihilate them, but you want to mentally annihilate them as well, right? That's the best way to do it. When you mentally annihilate somebody, it will only make physically annihilating them much easier, regardless of the size, regardless of the experience of the opponent, right?
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Awesome. Yes, totally makes sense. When it comes to your training, um, how many times a day do you go to the gym? Do you have a certain training regimen? And my favorite question I ask: what is on your Spotify playlist or YouTube playlist while you're doing your workouts?
Oh, so I go to the gym typically 5 days a week. I work out and I also do wrestling training for usually 4 of those days out of the week as well. I've been training. I still train with my trainer, of course, the person who brought me into the business. And then last few weeks, I've started lucha training as well to further enhance my craft and to better myself as a professional wrestler in the business. And my regimen essentially is pretty. So I do chest on Mondays, I do back on Tuesdays, Wednesday I do shoulders, Thursday I do legs and glutes, and then Fridays I do arms. And the weekends are typically my rest days. I just do like a little yoga. And usually the weekends I don't really have any business ventures aside from being booked to wrestle. Other than that, I don't really do much else on the weekends. I get to relax just those 2 days. And my music playlist, it depends on what I'm in the mood for. I listen to like my favorite artist is Mariah, and she has a lot of different kinds of like emotions if you're whatever emotion you're going through, she has a song for you. If you want to get, down as they say in America, she has music for you. Um, I like Mariah's music. I love Beyonce. I love Destiny's Child. As far as like recent artists, like newer artists, I really like Rina Sawayama. She has some really good songs in her arsenal. Um, Shakira, I wow, there's so many artists that I listen to. I don't have like one particular artist. Sometimes I'm in a bit of a rock mood. I'll listen to Evanescence, Paramore. It just depends on, like I said, it depends on my mood and what I'm feeling. at the moment.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The stuff that always gets me going. Whenever I could feel like a song, like I'll put on like a Linkin Park
Hmm.
or like a Metallica song. I'll try not my luck. I'll have like Enter Sandman, and then it'll go to like a slower Metallica song, Crown King Nothing. I'm like, oh, and then they'll go to even softer Metallica song. I'm like, Spotify, what am I paying you for? Like, you know, besides wrestling, do you collect anything, or do you have? I know you're touring a lot. You don't really get a chance to go out and buy a lot of things. So
No, I don't. I don't really collect anything. If anything, as far as like runway pieces that I've worn or that other people have worn, and sometimes the designers will gift to me to wear because, why not? Usually,
yeah.
I don't really collect that, but it's more so just gifted to me. Stuff like that is just something that I've always just been blessed to have. Or like pieces that I've worn in what's it called, like photo shoots and stuff. Usually they let me keep it. I don't ask for it, but they're like, here, it's for you. I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
Awesome. Let's go into it. Let's talk about your t-shirts.
Oh,
Um, what is your inspiration for your shirt? That awesome t-shirt right there. And did it take a while for your promoter to help you get that get that whole look to it?
so I essentially came up with the inspiration behind it. I I have a personal graphic designer. She essentially brought it to life. Of course, I was just like, hey, think of, I'm La Rosa Eterna or everlasting rose. So just place some roses around me somewhere. And then I want like a professional photo shoot picture of me with a gorgeous red backlight, almost like kind of like a sun type of thing. But I was like, make it red and I want to see how it looks. And turned out to look a lot better than I thought. And then I wanted obviously the everlasting rose to be underneath it, and then my name on the front, and then on the back it says, I don't know if you can see it. It says Miss Worldwide. I don't know if you
Oh
can see
yeah.
that. Yeah, so that's essentially inspiration. I wasn't necessarily inspired by anything to make it. I just thought it just kind of came to me in my head at some random point in time. And I was like, oh, this might look good. So I sketched it out and I sent it over to her and she was like, I got you. And she made it for me and it looked so amazing.
So you could say Miss Worldwide is on the internationally known pod dudes at Ringside. So
See, sorry, you don't know Spanish. Yes.
yes, I'm half Puerto Rican,
Oh,
sort of pequeño. Awesome. So you were talking about before you're taking lucha training. Would that
yes.
mean you would have to be eventually donning a wrestling mask?
Not necessarily. I personally am not, but uh that some people do. I guess it depends on what you want, and I believe what the promoter of that promotion wants. I personally don't wear the mask. I don't My face is too pretty. I can't be putting a mask
You're
on me. So
adorable. Why would you want to wear a mask? Like, you would ruin the makeup. You would mess up your hair. Like,
exactly. So it wouldn't make sense for me of all people to wear a mask, like unless I got something to hide, which I don't.
if something happened, that psycho girl tries to scratch you during a match. Like,
I'm like I said, I'll do what I can, but I'll wrap that heifer up myself and just kick her around like a basketball or whatever the sport is called, where they kick the ball. I don't know.
um, is there any other place in the United States or globally that you would like to travel to that you haven't been to yet?
To wrestle specifically, I I would love to wrestle in New York, Pennsylvania, California, pretty much everywhere, honestly. I just want to wrestle people. I want to every wrestling match is a learning experience. Every person you wrestle, you take back from, you take a little knowledge from. So I think that every opportunity is important. regardless of where it is. But Pennsylvania and New York and California have been kind of like on my eyes lately. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, you know?
Yeah, the New York wrestling scene is really, really like going insane right now. Like, there's a lot of people that want to get in there. The promotion that I grew up like watching, the New York Wrestling Connection, that's the one of the main hubs. That's where Zack Ryder came from, Kurt Hawkins. Oh my gosh, there's like so many names that came out of there. What's his name from AEW that wears a scarf that everybody loves? MJF.
Oh, see. Sorry, yes.
You and him could make a really power couple if you think about it. You and MJF. Oh my gosh.
I don't know about that, but you never know what time will tell.
You never know.
Never know what can happen in this lifetime.
I see you turning on him, but it's a different story. But before we go, do you have any questions for me now that it's my 4 years of Dudes at Ringside? Any questions for me before we go?
Why didn't you get me on a lot sooner? You know what I mean?
Like, I would have had you on it. Like, there's different reasons. My reps didn't point you my direction yet.
Mhm.
I would have known about you sooner because I check out my indie scenes all the time from the Texas wrestling scene, but sometimes my satellite dishes in my studio where I get all my guests, they don't aim the right direction. Sometimes there's errors. You know?
I think you what does my dear friend Beyonce like to say? Somebody's gonna get fired. I think you should get somebody else on your team. If I'm gonna be quite honest.
Yeah, that
It took you this long to get me on your platform. I think there needs to be work a little bit done behind the scenes.
Yeah, I well, don't talk about you because you know where the bodies are buried. Oh, that you're pointing at a chalkboard saying, oh, yeah, yeah, that. Don't do that. That's not nice.
Oh, somebody has an issue. I see.
Yes, he's not showing me a piece of paper. Oh, that's a lawsuit. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, my reps are really mad at me tonight.
The lack of
before go, yeah, I have a lot to talk about when I leave. Whew. Before we go, if my fans want to follow you on any social medias so they can pick up your merch, where can they find you?
So on Instagram, I am the Ambrosia Belle. On Twitter /X, I'm Ambrosia Belle, and then Facebook Ambrosia Belle, YouTube Ambrosia Belle. My name is pretty much the same everywhere except Instagram. It's the Ambrosia Belle. Yeah.
Awesome, Ambrosia. I want to thank you so much for coming on Dudes at Ringside. Thank you for helping me celebrate 4 years of this podcast. My guy. I am Joe Panther III.
And I'm La Rosa Eterna, Ambrosia Belle. Oh, my bad. You don't know Spanish. The Everlasting Rose, Ambrosia Belle.
And we will catch you in the next one.